Hello. Welcome to RoboPie. Robotics. Perceptrons. Semantic AI. Conceptual RI.
Welcome to the first video on Pocket Sphinx. Today we're going to be doing the installation of Pocket Sphinx. First off, what is Pocket Sphinx SRE? It's a speech recognition engine or speech recognition software. It was created by Carnegie Mellon University in the CMU Sphinx speech recognition project. And we'll be taking a look at that very shortly. Why use Pocket Sphinx? Okay, actually Pocket Sphinx is considered to be obsolete. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But right now I'll tell you the reasons why I'm choosing Pocket Sphinx. To begin with, it's a very lightweight software. It doesn't take up a lot of room. It runs fast, and it's designed for limited computers with limited resources like single board computers. So this works very well on a Raspberry Pi or a Jetson Nano or any other small computer or even older obsolete computers. The other thing I like about it for my project, it has a dictionary that is easily modified. And this is very important to me. There are better speech recognition systems out there, but they don't have easily modifiable dictionaries. And that's not going to do me any good. The third reason that I prefer this also is that this is totally independent of the internet. It runs strictly on the local machine. So if you put this on your Raspberry Pi, that's where it's going to run from, without any dependency on any internet or any cloud or anything like that. So it's a very nice, concise, small program. Excuse me. Why is it considered to be obsolete? Okay, we'll get into that here just very shortly. I'll explain why they consider it to be obsolete. And finally, point number 4, you'll need a microphone to use this. It's going to recognize your speech, so it has to have some way of being able to hear your speech. So you have to have a microphone connected up. I have a USB mic on my Raspberry Pi. So now let's move on to the CMU Sphinx website and see why they consider this to be obsolete. Before we move on, there's one thing I would like to explain just out of curiosity. Before we begin, I'm going to look at my SD card. I'm on a Raspberry Pi. This is my SD card. It's a 16 gigabyte SD card. I'm doing this purposefully. I have a very small SD card. And this much of it is already filled with everything I have on here. I have a lot of stuff on here. And I still have 10 gigabytes available. So when we're done installing Pocket Sphinx, we can see how this changes. So at the end, after we've installed everything, we'll see how many gigabytes it actually took. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention so we can take note of that at the end of the video. Okay, now we're going to go to the Carnegie Mellon University website. This is located at CMU Sphinx.github.io. Or you could just Google CMU Sphinx. It should bring you to this page. It's an open source speech recognition toolkit. Now here's where they have update. They're apologizing for not having updated this recently, and the reason they give is because new toolkits, many new toolkits appear and some disappear. And then they list all these other toolkits. These are all speech recognition engines. And the whole area is thriving, so it's constantly moving. then they go on to explain why they're moving on to other things. And here's one of the reasons why they're moving on. These other ones provide much better accuracy for large vocabulary decoding, which was hard to imagine before. Now, this large vocabulary decoding, what they're trying to do is just look at everything. That's what AI does anymore. The more data they can grab onto, the happier they are. And Pocket Sphinx just wasn't good for this. So that's why they consider Pocket Sphinx to be obsolete. They're moving on to humongous programs. But we wanted something that just runs on a single board computer. So this is why, even though it's obsolete, it's really not, depending on what you want to use it for. Okay, then they also have this tutorials page. I believe that's this one, yes. When you get to this tutorial page, they explain various different things about this. One of them is the CMU Sphinx toolkit. Let's take a look at that page. Now this page shows you what the toolkits they have to offer. One of them is Pocket Sphinx. The other one is Sphinxbase. Sphinxbase is actually a support library that is required by Pocket Sphinx. So we need to load Sphinxbase on if we're going to use Pocket Sphinx. Sphinx 4 we do not need. Sphinx 4 is another one of those larger, it's made for larger computers that do handle a lot more data. We simply don't need that kind of power. If you're interested in that sort of thing, you can go that direction, but I'm sticking with the small stuff. And finally, there's a program called Sphinxtrain. And Sphinxtrain is a separate program, kind of like we had in eSpeak, where we had eSpeak Edit. Sphinxtrain, you don't need to have this unless you want it. It's a separate program that will help you to train Pocket Sphinx to recognize your voice specifically. What you do with Sphinxtrain, I may as well explain it here because I'm not going to explain it anywhere else. With Sphinxtrain, you type in a few paragraphs, or as many paragraphs as you want, of text, and then you read that text into the microphone and see how well Pocket Sphinx recognized your words compared to that text. And Sphinxtrain will then modify Pocket Sphinx to make it match that text better. You may have to do this over and over again several times. Every time you do it, it will modify Pocket Sphinx to more correctly get the words that you're reading. And in this way, it can train Pocket Sphinx to recognize your voice and the way that you pronounce words. So that's what Sphinxtrain is all about. I'm going to install that on my computer, but we're not going to get into that anytime soon. Down here is where you can actually go and download these. We're not going to do it this way. I'm going to use a different method. So let's go back to the tutorial page, and here we have building an application with Sphinx 4. That tells you how to do that. This page tells you building an application with Pocket Sphinx, which is what we will be doing. It has Pocket Sphinx on Android if you want to put it on an Android device. And then it goes on to explain other things like how you can build the dictionary and so forth. So we're going to look right now at building an application with Pocket Sphinx. And here it gives you the information, installation on a Unix system, which would be Linux. And it also has the installation on Windows. And if we click down here to the Unix system, this is on the same page, click down, it tells you that you need all these dependencies. You need dependencies. And these are all the dependencies here. and but it doesn't tell you how to install them. It just tells you you need to have them. And then it goes on to tell you how to install this. But I don't like the method they use. I'm going to be doing something very similar, but I'm going to be using my own notes to do this. So anyway, it's not important to see any of this stuff other than if you wanted to read it yourself. So now let's move on to installing it. We're going to install it using my notes. Okay, here we go. I'm going to install Pocket Sphinx. We will go through 5 steps, and then 6 is to install the Sphinx Train if you want to do that. So we'll be going through 5 steps to install Pocket Sphinx. Going to start with the dependencies, then we're going to create a directory, and then we're going to clone Sphinxbase and install it. And we're going to do some manual configurations, and then we're going to clone Pocket Sphinx and install it. And then finally we'll install Sphinxtrain if you want to. So let's move on to dependencies. Okay, the dependencies can all be installed with one line. These are all the things you need to install right here. Okay, so we're going to open up a terminal, and we're going to paste in that command from the notes. And these are all of the dependencies that are required. So let's see what happens when we install these. It's going to take 30 megabytes of memory to do this, so that's not much. Okay, all of the dependencies have been installed. I'm going to clear the screen here. Okay, now for a very simple step, we create a directory. I'm going to call mine SRE, and then we change the into that directory. So from the terminal, mkdir SRE, whoops, if I can spell, SRE, enter, and then we change into that directory, SRE. Okay, that was easy enough. And now let's go see what we do next. Okay, now we're going to go back to the notes. We're going to clone Sphinxbase and install it. We do that with this line. I better have, how do you do this? Git clone, I think, yeah. Clone Sphinxbase and install it. We have to do git clone, and then this address. We'll just copy this and paste it in here. And then enter. Cloning Sphinxbase. Okay, once we have that cloned, go back to the notes. We want to change the directory to Sphinxbase. So cd Sphinxbase, and there it is. And go back to the notes. We want to do an autogen. We're going to run this autogen script. So copy it and paste it and execute it. Okay, I'm editing out all of the actual installations so that we can move along faster, but that was quite a bit of installation there. Back to the notes. Make clean all. Oh no, before we do that, we have to do configure. This /configure. Copy that and paste it. /configure. Enter that. Okay, now we're back to the notes. Make clean all. I could just type that in, but I'm going to copy it and paste it. Make clean all. Okay. Now that took quite a long time to install for me. So you'll have to wait till your computer's done. You may see some pink warnings fly by. Just ignore those. They're not important, so I'm told. Go back to the notes. Now we're just going to do a make check. You can actually skip this if you want to. This is just to check that everything did everything okay. Paste that in there. Make check. I'm going to run it on mine. Okay, we're done here. Now this one again took quite a lot of test. Most everything passed. I didn't get any failures. I didn't get any errors, but I did see a lot of pink warnings go flying by. Don't worry about the warnings. As long as you get 0 errors, you're good. If you have errors, I don't know what to tell you. I never get any. So let's go back to the notes and see where we're at. Okay, now we do a sudo make install. And this will be the last command we need for the Sphinxbase. We'll copy that command and paste it in here and install it. Okay, that went rather quickly, and again, a couple warnings went by, but no errors. And that does it for Sphinxbase. We should have Sphinxbase installed. And now we can move on to the next step. Okay, going back to the notes. We're ready. We've done the installation here for Sphinxbase. We're at number 4. We're going to do some manual configurations. First thing we need to do is enter this command. Copy. This is export ld library path US local lib. I just paste that in there. Again, you can just copy that right from the notes. Enter. And that doesn't do anything. I mean, it did it, but it doesn't give you any report. Then we want to say sudo nano and to edit this file right here. If you don't have nano on your computer, you'll have to add it. You can just do a sudo apt-get install nano if you don't already have it. I think it comes with Raspbian. So let's paste this in here. Sudo nano, that's an editor, / etc. / ld.so.conf.d. Enter. Okay, we're in it. And what we want to do is go back to the notes. We want to include that path, which it's already there. It's already there in mine. If it's not there, you have to take this and put it in. And you also need this second line. User local lib. Copy. Put it up here. Tab, not tab, but down arrow. And then paste. User local lib. That's all you need to do there. Go back. That's all you need to do. So what we want to do now, come back over to the terminal, write it out. That's a Control-O and enter. It's going to ask you file name to write. Yes, enter. And then it wrote the 2 lines that we have. And then we Control-X will get us back out of the nano. So we've done that. That had to be done. And now to make that take, we have to do a sudo id config. Paste. Whoop. I always want to do a Control-V. That won't work here. Paste that in there and enter. And again, it doesn't give you anything but it did it. So that had to be done. These 3 lines right here had to be added. We had to do that. And now we can go on and clone Pocket Sphinx and install it. Okay, I'm going to type in a clear here. I'm starting a new video. Where are we at? Back over here. We're going to install we need to clone and then install Pocket Sphinx. So, I like to go back to the original home directory here first. Oh, not home. I want to go to SRE. And then I'm going to clone it, because we want to clone it in the SRE directory. Git clone. Okay, I'm going to clone it in the SRE directory. Copy and paste. Git clone. Okay, we're in the SRE directories where we want to clone that to. Enter. Cloning Pocket Sphinx. Okay, that took a very long time to load on my computer, and that was cloning Pocket Sphinx. And we cloned it into the SRE directory. So in your folder, in your home folder, you should have, in your SRE directory, you should have Pocket Sphinx and Sphinxbase. If you accidentally put this Pocket Sphinx into, if you cloned it into Sphinxbase by accident, just move it over to where it's in the SRE. You want to have Pocket Sphinx and Sphinxbase, both in the SRE folder in your home folder. So that's where we're at the moment. So now we want to change directory to Pocket Sphinx. There we go. And now go back to the notes. That's what we just now did right there. We changed the directory to Pocket Sphinx. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing. These are all exactly what we did before when we installed Sphinxbase. We're going to do this autogen script. Copy. Paste. Oops. I always try to use Control B. This is /autogen.sh. It's a script file that will run here, hopefully. It gives you a warning. It always gives you a warning at the beginning that it's going to configure it with no arguments, but you don't worry about that because we're going to do configure next anyway. We're going to do .configure. In fact, I'm going to copy the command right now to prepare for it, because this shouldn't take too long over here. And there, we're done with that. So now I can paste in the ./configure file, and we'll enter that. And while that's going, let's go back over to the notes. We're going to do a make clean all. Copy. That will be our next command. So we come back over to the terminal, and it's done doing the last command. So now we paste in the make clean all, and I think this one might take a while, not sure. Okay, and now we're going to do the make check. We paste that in, make check, enter, and this will go through everything and check it. Okay, mine passed the test. I've got a lot of passes here and no errors. I don't know what to tell you if you get errors. I've never get any errors. We need to go back to the notes, and make check was the last thing we did. Now we do a sudo make install. Copy, bring it over and paste it in. Sudo make install, enter. Okay, now it installs. And that was quick. And now we're going to test it. Okay, now we're going to test to see if it works. We've installed it. Go back to the notes. There are these two paths that you might need to put in. I'm told to do that, but I don't think we need to, because I think we did that in when we did this, when we used the sudo nano a while back. We actually told it these paths back then. So we should be able to take this line right here, Pocket Sphinx _ continuous dash in mic yes. Okay, we'll just take that, copy it, and we're going to go back over to the terminal. We're going to paste it in, and this will tell us, this is the moment of truth here, this will tell us if it's going to work. Hello, my name is James. Okay, to stop it, you can use a Control-Z. Control-Z to stop it. And notice that was a way back here. It gives you a whole bunch of junk here on the screen. I'm not even sure what all it's telling you. But where was it? Here we typed in the command, and it gave you all this information, which I don't even know what we're doing here. And down here, somewhere it asked me. Somewhere it said it was listening. I don't see that now. I don't see where it said it was listening. Somewhere it said it was listening. Anyway, when it said it was listening, I said, hello, my name is James. And it heard that. And here it is. Hello, my name is James. Let's run it again. See what happens. Continuous ready. It says it's ready right now, and it's listening. Continue is ready, and it says it's ready right now and is swiftly. And it's listening to me now. It's going to come back with whatever I said. Continue is ready, and this isn't making any sense. I'm going to stop it right here. Okay, it says it's ready right now, and this is what, and this was when they are. That's what it picked up right there. That's just arbitrary sentences that it gives you all this extra stuff. We only want this, what's coming in here, so we're going to have to filter out all this other stuff and just get what it's saying. But let's try it a couple more times. Hello, my name is James. What does it say? Oh, like they wish to use. What in the world is that? That might have been from somewhere else. That might have been from a previous thing. This is really confusing. We're going to have this all ironed out. Hello, my name is James. Hello, when there is James. Okay, the first time we did this, it actually did it perfectly, and now it's not. Now it's getting messed up. But this, we can fix this. We can make this work. We'll try it one more time. I'm going to do hello, my name is James, and we'll see what happens. Well, let's clear the screen first. Okay, here's how you type in Pocketsphinx _ continuous space hyphen in mic space yes. That's how you test it. Enter. Hello, my name is James. Control Z stops it. Here it is. Hello, my name is James. There, it got it perfect. So it does seem to work pretty well as long as you have it all lined up. And we're going to have to work with it. But this is just a this Pocket Sphinx Continue is in mic. This is just a test to see if it's actually working, and it does work. Let's ask it a question. It's not going to give us an answer. It's just going to repeat the question we ask. But I just want to see if it'll get something else. Can you be a voice? Can you listen for a robot? Oh dear me. Okay, here's where here's the line it replaced. I first asked it, can you be your voice? Can you be who? Can you listen for robot? So it's not very good for right now, but it actually is better. It's much better than this. I didn't know what I was going to say there. Can you be a voice? Not a voice. Can you be ears for a robot? Let's see what it does with that. Can you be the ears of a robot? Can you be the ears of a robot? Okay, here it is. Can you be the ears of a robot? Look at that. It got it. If you're very careful and do things exactly right, you can actually get it to work. Can you be the ears of a robot? That's perfect. That's 100%. So it has some potential here, and we'll see. But anyway, that's it. It's installed, and it's obviously working. It's picking up my voice, and it's reporting it back. 100% accuracy sometimes. I'm going to try this one more time. I'm just going to say testing 1, 2, 3, 4, and see if it can read that. Here we go. You have to wait until it says it's ready. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. But in more than 2, 3, 4. But in more than 2, 3, 4. Here's what it replied back. But in more than 2, 3, 4. Okay, we said testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1 came out as but in more than. Huh. Let's try it again. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to stop it with a Control Z every time. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. So testing came in as best and 1, 2, 3, 4. So get the 1, 2, 3, 4 pretty nice. But it didn't get testing. It got best and. So let's try it one more time. Give it one more shot. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, look at that. We finally got it. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. It finally got it perfect. So anyway, it does work. It's just how dependable it will be is another question. But there's another reason too. This thing has a humongous dictionary in it. And if we cut that dictionary down, it'll have less choices and it'll be more accurate. But more about that much, much later. First, let's install the Sphinx Train. Clear the screen. Okay, we're ready to install Sphinx Train. Go back to the notes, clone Sphinxtrain and install it. This is exactly the same procedure as before. We first want to go to the terminal and change directory back to the SRE. We're going to be in the SRE directory and we're going to clone, git clone sphinxtrain.get. I'm going to grab this and we want to clone this. Copy, paste. This is only if you want to do the Sphinx Train. Okay, after we've cloned it, we change the directory to Sphinx Train. And then we do the autogen script again, and then the autoconfig, or the config. Paste, enter. Okay, it's going to run that script. We'll grab the next command, which is going to be configure, copy, and back over to the terminal. And after it finishes the autogen, we'll do the configure. Shouldn't take too long to do this. Come on, come on. There we go. And now we can paste in the configure. And we'll configure it. And while it's configuring, we come over and get the make clean all. Copy. And back over to the terminal. And as soon as it's done here, we paste in the make clean all. Paste. Yeah, now we do the make check. I already copied it, so I'm just going to paste it in. Make check. And that goes quick. And now we want to do sudo make install. I think this goes quick too. Copy and paste. Okay, yeah, that went pretty quick. So now we're installed. Yeah, that's the end of our list. We're installed. And now, remember, we had to be in the SRE directory when we did all that. I hope you were there. So that when you go to your home folder and you look at the SRE folder, you should have 3 folders in here: Pocket Sphinx, Sphinxbase, and Sphinxtrain. If you did everything right, those should all be there. And so we're installed. Nothing too exciting yet, other than it's installed and it was tested and it seems to be working. And so we can move on to doing something with it now. Okay, we have one final thing we'd like to do, and that is to look at the SD card. Remember, in the beginning, I only have a 16 gigabyte SD card on this Raspberry Pi right now. And in the beginning, we had 10.0 gigabytes available. Now we have 9.5. So this whole shebang, everything we added here on Pocket Sphinx was less than a half a gigabyte. So it doesn't take up much room at all. And that's one thing I like about it. It's a nice small program. So that's it for this installation video. Hopefully the next time we might be doing something with Python with it. See you next time.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And if you can help, please support the channel. Thank you.